Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the fifth meeting of the year. Today is March 23rd, 2023. Dawn, can you please read the publication?
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law of 1975, notice of this meeting to be held at the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 7th, 2026. Posted on the Municipal Bulletin Board, the Borough website, the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
Roll call.
Mayor Gindi.
Here.
Councilwoman De Silva.
Here.
Councilman Donato.
Here.
Councilman DeZemian.
Here.
Councilman Giannakopoulos.
Here.
Councilman Gerczynski.
Here.
Council President DeSantis.
Here.
Please stand for a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Felipe's not here. All right, we're going to go into proclamations and presentations. We have two today. First one, which is the water meter replacement. Felipe is not here. So we're going to go into the VREAL presentation. As you all know, past 2 years, South River has had VREAL represent most of the businesses in town, along with their light industrial. So today I invited Dante Bell, the founder of VREAL, to give us a presentation on what it's all about. Can you please come up to the mic?
Thank you, Mayor Gindi. I have a handout for everybody. This is exciting for me. You know, grew up here in South River. So this is special.
Thank you.
And we're excited to be powering several municipalities throughout the state of New Jersey. But the special one is South River. As Mayor Gindi stated, this is a intelligence platform for South River to be able to understand the businesses and the ecosystem that you have. The current situation that's going on, as you know, a lot's going on with AI and Amazon and DoorDash and all those things. But what South River now has is the ability to have its own intelligence. So when someone searches for pizza, you know they search for pizza. If someone searches for an iron, you know they search for an iron. You have intelligence now, because when they search Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity, South River gets none of that data. So we're trying to provide South River with its own intelligence so it can begin to do research, planning, and then be able to execute. In the brochure, with your phones, if you scan the QR code, you will see that you have an ecosystem. How many businesses do you think there are in South River? Anybody want to take a shot?
120.
120? We brought back 380 businesses in South River. And the exciting part about that is our technology breaks it all down for you. So now you know how many businesses you have. In addition to knowing how many businesses you have, you also know what type of business types you have. So we give you all of that. That's part of the research component that we've been talking about. And with that, if you go to any of those listings, you will see that the businesses now have a profile that allows them to add their photos, their videos. As you see, if you go into any of the listings, we bring back the hours of operation. And we also allow what we call participation tracking. And we know that South River does events, and great events. Now, with the VREAL technology, CityReal technology, you can track participation. So if you did a bar crawl, or if you did a festival, or any type of event, you can actually have persons click and scan a QR code to show that they went into that place of business, and now you're able to track how successful and who participated in the event. Right now, you may be doing great events, but you may not have any analytics to prove what happened during that event, or what modifications you want to make for that event for next year, or other businesses that you may want to have had invited to that event. So this gives you a place of intelligence to be able to go and have access to any of that information. In addition to that, part of the invention that we have is analytics, right? So Mayor Gindy and the council and the board, you can always go in and log in and see what's happening, what people are looking for, where are their gaps. You know, people are searching for this. Maybe we need to get a laundromat, or we need to get something else in the city, in the borough that has those things. So it's very exciting. We are in the midst of always updating technology, but we're very excited about where we are, and especially for me being from South River to work with. This is what we call one of the greatest things that's changed in the internet, and you're going to be able to say it came from Dante Bell, from South River, and that's what we're doing. We're changing the game. I think in the May edition, you're going to see it in the New Jersey League of Municipalities. They're doing an article on us. Mayor Gindy's featured in there. And we're showing how we are trend setting. We are providing now municipalities with their own intelligence, the ability to have their own reporting, the ability to power their businesses. For every dollar that's spent within South River at a local business, 68 cents stays in town, if it's at a local business. So that's a big number. And so we're trying to drive economics, we're trying to drive participation, and that's what we're doing with the city.
Council, have any discussions? Any questions?
No, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for having us as like a little jewel in your little crown, or your crown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The key is to drive local participation, because we all know what's going on with the war and with the federal government and grants being cut. You know, this is the time to say, if grants are being cut on a federal level, what are we going to do on the local level? And then the key element for the local level to drive any economic to South River, is through what? Small businesses, right? That's our way of keeping the money circulating within South River. So that's what we're trying to provide, a basis, a framework to be able to do that in the most innovative way.
I have one question. So for a local business, do they manage their own platform on here? So if you click on the business, what it shows and hours of operation, if it's a menu or an offering or a sale, whatever that is, do they manage their own content?
Yes, every business manages their own content. We at our company, we do what we call verification calls. So every business gets called, and we verify their hours of operation. We verify all their contact information, website, Instagram, any social media. All those are relevant links, and they can upload their own photos, their own videos, and we provide them customer support to do that as well. So we support them with that. When they receive their verification call and they go through, we can send them a verification email. In that verification email includes their login for that account. It includes also the ability for signing up for customer service to show them and walk them through how to update their profile.
Thank you. I'm just taking a note here. That's all.
So,
Appreciate it.
so you're saying there's 300 and some businesses in town. Now, did your company put them on this page, or do they have to call you and say, hey, can you put me on this page?
Oh, now we're getting fun. Okay, so what my company is, we're AI-powered technology. What we did was we combed Google, and we scraped, we crawled Google, and any business that was on Google that had a listing with a South River address, and we categorized those through Google. So our business profiles match Google perfect. So that's how we accompany all the 380 businesses. And the largest category is services. Services has over 300 businesses in South River. The landscapers, the plumbers, the electricians. These are the businesses that you may not normally see because they're not in a storefront in front of you, but those are the ones that are driving the economy. The lawyers, these are the key, the doctors, these are key elements or services entities that are driving the economics in South River. And so to your point, they all get a profile, they all get promoted, they get free visibility. We're going to integrate this into the website. So if you go to springfieldbid.com, as an example, you want to write that down, springfieldbid.com, you'll see an example of an integration that is in the website. Mayor Gindy, we will be integrating this into South River's website. So when someone says, well, how do I find a directory? go to the website, go to South River's website, and click on the marketplace or click on directory, and that's how you get to it. You can also have access to our Borough technology. Mayor Guinea knows about this. Well, we provide this technology. So the way it works is this card is my business card. So every business can also receive this. If you touch the phone with it, you'll see that it brings up a profile of me. That's my business card. And in 4 seconds, you see that it begins to play a story and a video. And so with this, each business has the ability to tell their story using NFC technology. And this is another visual element of access that the businesses can have access to use. And that's another layer of integration that we can provide. We're making South River high tech. High tech, on the cutting edge.
Into tomorrow's future.
Tomorrow's future.
Like that. Council, anything else for Mr. Dante? No?
Nice job.
Thank you so
Very
much.
nice work.
you.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we are going to go into agenda session. We have 3 second readings, and we have 1 first reading. The first 3 readings, John, can you please chime
Sure.
on, explain it to us?
So ordinance number 2026-5, that's an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of South River, Chapter 289, Article 2, Section 289-5, titled Removal of Snow and Ice to prohibit the placement, deposit, or dumping of any material, object, snow, ice, debris, or other substance in the public right-of-way. This ordinance does exactly what its title indicates it does. It will now make it a violation of the Borough Code to place any snow or ice in the right-of-ways. So if you can imagine, when people are clearing off their driveways, clearing off sidewalks, we obviously don't want them dumping that snow or any other material back into a roadway that was plowed or recently plowed or is going to be plowed. So that is the substance of 2026-5. 2026-6 is an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, repealing and replacing Chapter 22, Article 4, Sections 22-18 through 22-18.12 of the Borough Code to establish separate Environmental Commission / Green Team and Shade Tree Advisory Board. This ordinance takes what is currently one entity in the borough and creates 2 separate entities. So right now, we have a combined Environmental Commission, Green Team, and Shade Tree Advisory Board. Under New Jersey statutes, under state law, there's a very specific construction and makeup of entities called environmental commissions and then entities called shade tree commissions. So now all of the responsibilities for the Environmental Commission and the Green Team will be under that entity called the Environmental Commission. That will be consistent with state law, and the same goes for the Shade Tree Commission. It was previously all under 1, now it's going to be under 2, consistent with state law, and then the makeup of those entities will be in accordance with those statutes. And then finally, for second reading is also 2026-7. This is an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of South River, Chapter 155, titled Fees, at Section 155.19.1 to require a security deposit for reservations to use Grikowski Park baseball field. So at the beginning of the season, different groups or leagues or entities might want to reserve a number of dates to use the field. This is the AstroTurfed field. There's special maintenance and care goes into that field. So this security deposit will be taken at the beginning of the season. After the season is done and the use is done, there'll be an inspection period just to make sure that there's no extraordinary maintenance or repair that's necessary. If there is some extraordinary maintenance or repair, that security deposit will be used to conduct that work. And then any balance that's left over, it could be all of it, could be none of it, depending on what occurs during the use, that will be returned to the registrant.
Okay. And we're going to have one first reading, which is going to be on 2026-8. Mark?
Basically, that's amending section 10 for loading zones for ordinance 193-39 on Mark's Place. That section is already in there. The only thing that's changing are the hours of operations. If you look at the ordinance now, there's that section for hours is blank. So we're changing it from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And also the location. It's from a point of 130 feet north of the intersection of Jackson Street to a point 85 feet north thereof. Previously, it said 135 feet north of the intersection, and then it said to a point of 110 feet. So we're changing it to 85 feet north of the intersection. So it's just giving more room for a loading zone for the business that's on Mark's Place.
All right, Dawn, can you please read for second reading 2026-5?
An ordinance amending the Code of the Borough of South River, Chapter 289, Article 2, Section 289-5, titled Removal of Snow and Ice, to prohibit the placement, deposit, or dumping of any material, object, snow, ice, debris, or other substance in the public right-of-way.
Motion to waive the full read?
Motion by Council President DeSantis,
That's all right.
seconded by Councilman Giannakopoulos.
Yes.
I'd like to open this up to the public.
Oh, that's all right.
I'd like to open up to the public. 5 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Just pertaining to this ordinance, right?
It's only pertaining to.
Just pertaining to the snow and ice ordinance. Motion to close public?
Motion by Council President DeSantis,
Second.
second by Councilman DeZemian. Council discussion?
I think it's obvious with this last year of snow that there was a lot of snow and what happens, and there's a lot of places you can't put it, and the street is number one on the list. So the borough did its best, but an ordinance like this protects the people from having to come out and plow again and all that. So I think it's pretty fair, straightforward. So
I believe there always was an ordinance about placing the snow back into the right of way and everything too, but this just reinforces the whole fact.
Right.
correct.
I have a question, Mayor. With this ordinance, it's great, good idea to reinforce what we already have in place, because I've known that we're not supposed to be doing that for years and years and years. My question is, people who leave their cars out in the road and then start to shovel them out after the plows have been by. Now, for me, that's, you've given the plows, you've taken the opportunity for the plows to plow it. Where would that snow be expected to be placed?
On their property. Their property.
Makes sense. I just wanted to hear you say that.
It goes back on their property. Listen, the DPW does a lot when it comes down to plowing. It's not easy to come back right away. You got well over 60 miles off the road. And when they're going down the road and they think that they plowed it, at least to give a path, and then you got a house that's now shoveling it back into the street, it's
I've
kind of
seen that.
unfair to all your neighbors as well as to the commuters that's trying to get past you. So this law now is coming into effect where now they're going to be able to enforce it. Whether it's going to be the police or DPW is going to be able to, control it and let
Would we
DPW.
have the opportunity to insert that in there to make sure that the people understand that when you leave your car in the road and the plows go by, when you go to remove it, you don't. And they're going to have a tendency. I'd probably be one of them. Only I know better. Is to shovel it and throw it out on the road, and then you get people coming in later on when you pack the stuff down. It's like going through terrible potholes,
Right.
even worse than the ones we have now. And some of the ones we have now, because of the weather, are terrible. I know our road department has been going crazy trying to fill them in. I've got a list of other ones that I'm going to put together and send
Now
over.
they're running Land Rapids.
But
so we'll be
I
talking
know how
about that.
difficult it
We'll be
is.
talking about that, about the potholes. But this is something that needs to be enforced and moved on. First step in trying to keep our roads clear of debris. Council, any other discussion? No? Do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Motion by Council President DeSantis, seconded by Councilman DeZemian.
Councilwoman De Silva?
Yes.
Councilman Donato?
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian?
Yes.
Councilman Giancopoulos?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Council President DeSantis?
Yes.
All right, Dawn, 2026-6.
An ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, repealing and replacing Chapter 22, Article 4, Sections 22 through 18 through 22-18.12 of the Borough Code to establish separate Environmental Commission, Green Team, and Shade Tree Advisory Board.
Motion to waive the full read?
Motion by Council President DeSantis,
Second.
second by Councilman Krasinski. Like to open this up to the public.
Hi, Lisa Byrne, 11 Bassett Place, South River. As you know, my husband is the chairperson. My question is, 3 years ago, Councilman Ciola was adamant we were two entities. He was adamant that we make it one. But until then, we don't have the people to do that. We don't have the resources to do it. He insisted it be one, and now we're going back. Why?
Why? Because I feel that this two entities could do a whole lot more if they're separated, especially when it comes to the shade tree and the shade tree as well as the environmental. The environmental could help out when it comes down to the planning part of it, when it comes down to land use. Not working out. And whether he did it 4 years, what's actually 4 years ago, since he did it 4 years ago, I never agreed with
We
it.
don't have the manpower.
I believe that we will have the manpower.
We've talked to the schools. When I was on the Board of Education, I talked to the teachers that run the earth programs at the schools. They can't get any kids interested. We can't get people to help us. We still have the same 7 people doing this.
Correct.
You want us to do it as 2 separate meetings again.
Yes, I do. Trust me when I tell you, we have enough people.
Okay.
Emily.
Emily Grasso, 13 Dower Street, current chair of the Environmental Commission. No worries. I have the same concerns that Lisa has just said. I don't have the desire or the personal time to be on both commissions. So I'm not sure how it's going to be staffed, but yeah, I have the same concern she does, because we've had people who express interest. Like I've had people say, oh yeah, I want to come to a meeting, and I email them and then they don't come. You know, it sounds like they're great, they want to come, but then they don't, because it's a big commitment on time. I understand, but my concern is that if we have 2 separate entities, that the staffing is the issue.
So let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Anyone else from the public?
Motion to close public?
Motion by Council President DeSantis,
Second.
second by Councilman Giannakopoulos. Council discussion?
So I do feel it's also a state statute to have the 2 separate ones, so now we're just going to be in compliance with that. And we've had people step up and show interest in being in the shade tree. So, well, also, and then also in this statute, we've created now, it's not an advisory board, it's a commission. So the Shade Tree Committee will have teeth, so to speak, to be able to do enforcement, where before, the way it was written up, they could give advice, but they really didn't have any muscle to them where they could actually enforce tree ordinances. Now they can. And we did have new people step up to say they'd be willing to do it. So hopefully we have enough, and we think it'll work. You know, if it doesn't, nothing is etched in stone.
I'm not against it. My problem is you're telling me that
I guess they were waiting, maybe.
People, we don't know who they are. That would really make us feel better.
Well, I'll be speaking to you soon, so.
All right. That's all I have, Mayor.
Mr. DeLuca, I have a question. So we're saying we're aligning with the state protocol now. but before we weren't. Is this something that's like hard and fast, or is it kind of up to the discretion? So are we able to go back now if we decide it's not working out and we assess, or are we going to have to make it work this way and really push? I just want to understand that we're doing it by the book.
We are, so the ordinance as drafted now is definitely doing it by the book. The kind of discrete question you're asking is there an avenue under state law to combine these two boards? I'm not prepared to answer that question without really looking into it. But I also couldn't say that the answer is no without really looking into it.
Okay.
So I do know for a fact that it's two separate statutes that provide for an environmental commission and a different statute that provides for a shade tree commission. And the way that those entities get made up is slightly distinct under the law. So it leads me to believe that this is really the right way to do it, to have two different. Now, their members could overlap, and I understand the burden of time and commitment. And maybe there's solutions around that, where, you know, one meeting is devoted towards environmental commission matters, one meeting is devoted to shade tree commission matters. I don't know, but combining the two boards back into one doesn't meet the letter of the law. But I would want to look a little bit deeper before I speak so firmly on that.
Yeah, I'd like to be optimistic, but I'd also like to understand, like, if we have to go back, we're not going to break the law to do it. So we all need to be on that same page as well. So, all right, thank you.
Anything else from council? I have a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
By Council President DeSantis, seconded by Councilman Janikopoulos.
Councilwoman De Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Donato,
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian,
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos,
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski,
Yes.
Council President DeSantis.
Yes.
On 2026-7.
An ordinance amending the code of the Borough of South River, Chapter 155, titled Fees, at Section 155.19.1, subsections, to require a security deposit for reservations to use Gorkowski Park baseball field.
Motion to waive the full read.
Motion by Council President DeSantis,
Second.
second by Councilman Krasinski. Like to open this up to the public? Going once? Second? Do I have a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Motion by Councilman Krasinski,
Second.
second by Councilman DeSantis. No, DeZemian. Council discussion?
I had a question. So the reason the ordinance has come up is people have always rented that field? Is that correct?
This field is utilized by not only the borough, but also outside entities because it's a county field, including like an adult league. So the deposit is basically there for if they do a bunch of, like Age could probably attest to it, on like a Sunday, they may leave it pretty dirty or something. You got to do a cleanup and things like that. And I'm not saying they have, but that's an example. So it's no different than a security deposit on an apartment or anything else. And then they still have to pay the usage fees, and then they basically get assessed if there's any above and beyond. So this is very common, and this does not go to like the local little league. Like our local teams are not going to have to put up a security deposit. The school would not have to do that as well.
Okay.
So it's really like an outside entity, a league, or a training, someone who does their own like on the side, like above and beyond work, things like that. So it's not geared towards, your little leagues and youth groups.
I got it. So yeah, if an adult league shows and leaves bottles everywhere or something,
That'd be one example,
they'll be
or
held
if
accountable.
they break the fence. There's a lot of things that it could be, but by getting the money up front, as we all know, it's a lot easier to give them a smaller check back than to get money later. So that's the idea. The goal is to give them every dollar back, right? We're not trying to do it that way, but
Security deposit.
yeah, that's all. Really, you've done them all your whole life on plenty of things, hotels to apartments. So that's the gist of it. So,
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
We have a motion.
motion to move.
Second?
Motion by Council President DeSantis, second by Councilman Giannakopoulos.
Councilwoman De Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Donato,
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian,
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos,
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski.
Yes.
Council President DeSantis.
Yes.
On first reading, 2026-8.
2026-8, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 193 entitled Vehicles and Traffic.
I move that council pass ordinance 2026-8 on its first reading by title only, and that the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law, with the second reading and public hearing to be held at a meeting at 7 p.m. on Monday, April 13th, 2026, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street in South River, New Jersey.
Second.
A motion by Council President DeSantis, second by Councilman Krasinski.
Councilwoman De Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Donato,
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian,
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos,
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski,
Yes.
Council President DeSantis.
Yes.
We're going to go on to reports. Justin, CME.
Thank you, Mayor. Brief update on the capital projects taking place within the borough. For the 2023 and 2024 local aid program, the contractor has a minor punch list left to complete, and upon its completion, we will submit to NJDOT for project closeout. For the 2023 local transportation project grant, bid opening took place in February, and Crossroad Paving was the lowest apparent bidder. They're currently preparing the contracts and expect work to begin in springtime. The 2025 local aid program, the project has been, the design is complete and the project has been approved by the DOT. Bidding will take place next month. The 2025 electrical substation maintenance, a pre-construction meeting already took place and work is expected to begin in the spring. And then the 2026 local aid program, the project has been authorized and design work has begun. That's all I have.
Council discussion? CFO's not here. Age, DPW.
Okay. We're going to be closed on April 3rd for Good Friday. There'll be no bulk. Also, our paper shred event will be on April 25th at the DPW yard, 9 Ivan Way, from 9 a.m. to 12. This is open to all residents and businesses in town, so bring as much as you want down. And also, we are still out there filling potholes, and it'll be a long time. So be patient. We'll be getting to you eventually. Thank you.
Council, you have any discussion for Age?
What was the date on that, Age? On the paper shredding?
April 25th, Saturday.
Fire Chief Wolf?
We're on. Everything's going. We're starting our maintenance program now with DPW for all the apparatus to be serviced and everything, our yearly service. We're right now a little over 100 calls standing for the year. Been a busy year so far. A lot of activated alarms and stuff like that, but other than that, right now we're moving along.
Thank you. Discussion? Council? Okay. John? Lloyd?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Dawn? Mark?
Yeah, I just have a couple things to report. On the police end, we're still looking for school crossing guards. So anybody that's interested, the applications can be picked up at Borough Hall. Regarding an update on the water meter replacement project, it's progressing nicely. We're about 85% complete. We have 423 accounts remaining that need to be completed. Of those 423, 283 have not reached out or have not responded to us. And of those 423, 140 have various plumbing issues, such as the meter's behind a wall, the meter can't be reached. So that's something in the future that we're going to have to discuss with the council. Meter Tech has some open appointments scheduled for Good Friday, which is April 3rd. If you want to have a new meter installed in your house, the phone number for that is area code 833-505-5412. Now, as for the other project that's entailed in this, it's the project to move to the new billing company from OpSolve to Municipal Billing. That billing company will be handling all of our electric and water bills going forward. Many have signed up online, and are paying their bills with success. Payments that were made during the transition from one company to the other are almost inputted. So not all the ones that were, where people came in and actually paid their bills, haven't been put into the new system yet, but they will be eventually. There's still a few reported issues with the old billing company providing the new billing company with some information, so we're trying to work through that, and we're looking to have this all said and done by the end of April. So the one thing that's good to report is that with this new billing company, you're going to be able to have an auto pay option, and you're also going to be able to pay by phone. So that's one good news. We're moving up with technology.
Council, you have a discussion? No? I have a question. The bridge lights.
So those bridge lights, the lights that are on the right-hand side of the bridge coming into South River, they're owned and operated by JCP&L. We've reached out to them numerous times, whether it's us or the Borough of Saraville. I know the Borough Administrator prior to me, he has reached out as well. The Borough Administration of Saraville has reached out. Also, we've gotten Middlesex County Office of Emergency Services involved. The issue is wiring. They're trying to figure out a way to run a conduit line to the bridge. So we're just waiting for that to happen. So I reached out to the gentleman that I deal with today. He has a meeting with the planner tomorrow. So we'll go from there. So I've also asked them, I know we tried it in the past by putting up a light tower there. We got the light tower from the OEM from the county, but it doesn't really light up the whole entire bridge. So I made a suggestion to JCP&L if they can rent some and maybe put it along the path. Whether or not they're going to do that, I don't know.
Any questions?
Mark, I have one. They recently paved John, Daly, and a few of the other streets in that particular area around the pond and all. PSC&G was down there for a gas leak, and they opened up John Street pretty considerably. Hopefully they'll come back in the spring when the asphalt plants are open and do a proper repair of that particular site, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Okay.
Only what they did the side of the road?
It's not quite on the side of the road. It's more towards the center in a one particular lane.
And I'm sorry, where was this?
On John Street, John and Daly. They opened it up for a gas leak a few weeks ago and everything too, and they put a temporary patch on there too. But being that we just paved the road, 6 months ago, if that,
Okay.
that we have a good proper repair.
Okay.
All right, council comments. Councilman Krasinski.
Right now, we're getting towards the end of the month for Office on Aging. They will have their schedule out. It'll be posted online. So if there's anything of interest that you would care to attend, please put your reservations in at the beginning of the month. And that's pretty much all I have right now, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman De Silva.
Just wanted to remind everybody again, the rabies clinic is this Saturday, the 28th. 12 to 2 is for the dogs, 2 to 2:30 is our cats. It will be held at the Public Works Department, which is 9 Ivan Way. It's open to all residents of New Jersey. Residents of South River, though, will be able to license their pets there. The town is waiving the licensing for pets, any late fees till April 1st. So if your pets are due for rabies vaccines, or if you're not sure, it's a good opportunity just to go ahead and get a booster. Also wanted to remind everybody that our food bank at 98 Jackson Street is still open twice. Residents are able to visit twice a month still up, and they're extending it to June. So you can visit the Borough website for more information on that. Also, our library is offering a lot of programs for adults and children. Till the weather opens up and gets better, they have a lot of programs that they offer there. So just check the website and you'll be able to get information on programs that are fun for adults and for children. And for now, that is all.
All right, thank you. Councilman DeZemian.
Thank you, Mayor. Reminder that preschool enrollment is still open for the full-day program, available at no cost to South River residents who are 3 or 4 years old. The registration flyer is listed on the South River Board of Ed website. You can also call 908-613-8305 to enroll your child. The Budget Committee, we are finalizing the budget very soon, and it will be available to the public. With the Frost on the Pumpkin, we have a meeting with the Business Administrator, Board of Health, and Rec Department, going over the start of it and doing everything we can to make this very positive and bring it back this year in October. On March 12th, 4 new police officers were sworn in. Officer Brianna Diaz, Officer Derek Whitaker, Officer Giuseppe Costanza, and Officer David Martinez. Congratulations to them joining the force in South River. As South River moves on further down the road, we tend to increase the force as much as possible to adhere to the growing South River and taking care of any future issues. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Giannakopoulos.
Yes, Mayor. The EDC is working on a farmer's market, which they plan to have in, I think, starting in September. They're going to have it on Sunday. We're not sure which Sunday, but it's going to be Sundays between 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And it should be, we're tentatively at the Obert Street parking lot. That's where it's going to be. And the meetings on that, if you want to get involved with that, there's an EDC meeting at the Office on Aging on Reed Street. And that next meeting is going to be April 15th. It's a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. If you have any interest in helping out and participating, they're always looking for members. And also the Shade and Tree Commission, our next meeting is April 9th. April 9th, it's at 6:30. It's at 48 Washington. If you're interested in that, you heard how we're looking for members for the Environmental Commission. And we're also working on a tree project where we're going to plant trees on Main Street. And we're working on that fast and furious, trying to get them into the ground as soon as possible so we could pretty up Main Street with some beautiful greenery. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilman Donato.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
All right, Council President Sanis.
Thank you. For the Recreation Advisory Board, registration is open for spring yoga. Classes are Tuesday, starting March 31st through May 19th, from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Our spring sports activities are going to be starting within the next few weeks, which include t-ball, baseball, softball, and flag football. We're also going to be adding a chess program where there'll be an instructor who will teach the children the game of chess, and that is to start in the month of May, so please look out for the announcement there. You can visit the Borough website for more details and to register. Go to www.southrivernj.org, click Departments, then Parks and Recreation, and there'll be a link to enroll. If you have any issues online, you can call the office at 732-254-4412. The next Recreation Advisory meeting will be on Monday, May 19th at 6 p.m. at 55 Reed Street, and residents are welcome and encouraged to attend. That's all I have.
Thank you. So we're going to do something a little different this time. Matter of fact, we're going to try it out today. Hopefully it works out. We are going to go into public comments, but only on consent resolutions only. After the consent resolutions has been voted upon, then I will open it back up for the good and welfare for the public. So out of the consent resolutions, there is one consent resolution that's going to be added, which is 117, which is for 85 Prospect Street, which is we're running a study to see if they're adequate enough to be deemed as a redevelopment property. With that said, I'd like to open it up to the public for consent resolutions only. Going once, two.
Motion to close.
Motion by
Second.
Council President Sanis, second by Councilman Giannakopoulos. I am, for the mayoral appointments, I am appointing for the Land Use Board Carlos Siqueira for the alternate 2 position, which new face for a new board. We're going to go to consent resolutions. Dawn, 2026-107 to 2026-117. Please read it.
Resolution 107, authorizing the requisition of funds for payment for the custodian of school monies. 108, authorizing change order number 2 for water meter replacement project. 109, awarding a contract to CME Associates for professional services. 110, authorizing emergency awards for snow removal. 111, reject all bid submittals for the unidirectional flushing program bid. 112, property tax refund. 113, confirming submission of a request for a congressionally directed spending. 114, accept February 9th, 2026 regular and executive session minutes. 115, accept March 2nd, 2026 regular and executive session minutes. 116, authorize the bills and claims consent list. 117, authorizing the Land Use Board to investigate an area in need of redevelopment.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Council President DeSantis.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman DeZemian.
Councilwoman De Silva,
Yes.
Councilman Donato,
Yes.
Councilman DeZemian,
Yes.
Councilman Giannakopoulos,
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky,
Yes.
Council President DeSantis.
Yes.
Now I will be opening it up to the public for good and welfare. 5 minutes. Please state your name and your address.
Mayor and Council, Chuck Bingert, live at 33 Terry Avenue. Before I go off, I want to commend the Department of Public Works for the job they did during the snowstorm. Having personally worked for the Public Works Department years ago, I know what it's like to spend 24 hours in a dump truck with a plow on it. It is not fun having people screaming and cursing at you because you plow their driveway back in. But anyway, I live on the corner of Terry and Colin Drive. I still hear grumbling going on about Colin Drive being closed. It's been a success. My neighborhood is quiet. Heritage Landing is quiet now because they don't have as many cars going through my neighborhood, through their neighborhood. And just, I Googled it. I don't want to repeat the stuff I said the last time because everybody knows. It was an enforcement problem. The South River Police did the best they could. It's not a big department. I sent the mayor numerous videos. I just sent you videos of people going the wrong way up the one-way street. I had cameras, and I was noticing I was catching a whole car, and once in a while I would just catch the back bumper, and once in a while I just catch noise. What I realized, by the time the timer went off, the car was going so fast, I wasn't catching the car. All I hear was the tires going by. So I stood out there one day and watched, and that's exactly what was happening. Someone's going like 25, which was a speed limit. I'd catch the whole car, but they're doing like 30, 35. I'd catch the middle of the car, and they're doing like 40. I wouldn't catch anything. So the speeding, I didn't send you any videos that I didn't think about at the time. But the speeding that was going up there was horrendous. I Googled, just for the heck of it, is it a good idea to connect neighborhoods together? 95% of what I saw online were negative. Even the ones that had anything positive about it, they said, it helps get the traffic off the main roads. But it causes problems in the neighborhood that the people are going through. They had something, I never heard, it's what they call rat runs. It's when people take shortcuts through neighborhoods to get out of major, arteries to try to take shortcuts. They said people tend to speed. They're going to do whatever speed they were doing on the main road when they go into side roads. Everything I read online was against connecting neighborhoods together. So the road from day one was a disaster. We had traffic, we had hundreds of cars going through there during rush hour. And like I said the last time, I'm trying to repeat myself, most of the people going through there weren't South River residents. They were going through my neighborhood, through Heritage Landing, and out into East Brunswick. There's not that many people living in Heritage Landing. There'd be 150 cars going through my neighborhood in an hour and a half. So it was a shortcut for East Brunswick. That's all it was. It did nothing for the borough residents. It didn't help us at all. And it's a safety issue. When I moved into my house in 1990, most of my neighbors were people that bought those houses brand new. They were older people. Most of them are gone now. We got a lot of new families moving in with young children. We got kids riding bicycles in the streets now. It's a nice, quiet little neighborhood again. It's a safety issue, a noise issue, because the people going the wrong way. If anyone is familiar with Colin Drive, there was supposed to have been a house there according to the original plans. My wife was on the Open Space Commission. They had 5 houses left out to leave the big section of woods there. So the road doesn't go straight. Because of the property on the corner, the road's got a sharp curve in the middle of it. I personally saw 4 accidents there. People come down in the snow, went right through the guy's fence, up the curb and through the guy's fence. It was the previous resident, not the guy there now. I saw 4 cars go up on the sidewalk coming down there too fast because of the road. It was poorly designed, but it had to be because of the way the property was cut. It was cut in wedge shapes, obviously, because it's a curve. So the road is poorly designed. Plus, the wrong way was from day one. We had people the wrong way, and the noise is horrendous of people coming out of there because they stomp on the gas, they stomp on the floor, trying to get out of there. So they think no one's going to see them if they go through there at the speed of light, but you can hear them. And the way my house is situated, I'm the last house on the corner. Everyone else is the front of their house faces the road. The side of my house faces the road, so my bedroom's on that side. So I hear trucks and cars constantly coming out of the wrong way all night and all day. So that, and they put the stop signs on Leonardine Avenue now and Cam Avenue. That's a great idea because the people coming down Leonardine Avenue are always flying. And I spoke to the mayor about Caroline Drive. My mother-in-law recently passed away. She lived there. The speeding on Caroline Drive is horrendous. But the road's been a success being closed. It's just turned the neighborhood back to what it used to be. The only reason I've heard for that road being open is because people want to take a shortcut. It's not even a half a mile to go down Leonardine and go through the back. It's not even a half a mile. So you're going to destroy my neighborhood because you want a shortcut? I'm sorry. The residents of my neighborhood, their safety and quality of life is more important than someone's need to take a shortcut. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Burn again, 11% place. I again want to thank Adriano and the Public Works. I have a handicap van that got plowed in with the 20 million feet of snow. They came back and did a second pass and helped me. My neighbor's help got the van out so I could get Ricky to his doctor's appointments. 20-year storm. But they do work hard. They are 24/7 and they are out there in all kinds of weather and they should be appreciated more by the people in this town.
I agree. Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Melanie Traeger, 44 Ferry Street. Also want to talk about downtown. I want to talk about downtown.
Okay.
But mostly, I have talked to everybody individually about some of my concerns. And I just keep hearing about there's a plan. I guess being a property owner and having been down there for 40 years, I'd like to see it. I mean, everyone up here is very excited about it. I believe it affects me. One of my biggest issues, of course, is I'm getting very nervous about having a place to park to come to work, especially with all the added projects going on and stuff like that. Hasn't been any new off-street parking created in a long time, and I keep hearing about a parking deck. I'm just wondering when I get to see the plan, or if I get to see the plan.
Well, when a plan is, let's say, too light, the neighbors, or I say the residents, as well as the businesses, will be well informed of what's going on. Like, meaning once it's on paper, then I'll be able to show.
Oh, come on, it's got already. Okay, so it's not on paper. What, you have a little mock-up, like that scale mock-up stuff? It's cool.
I will be talking to
How
you.
can people say they've seen it if it doesn't exist?
No.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Once it's in stone, I will be coming out to you as well as all the businesses and letting them know what's going on. But right now, I'm going to talk about what is happening on Main Street. Actually, it's in my comments, so let my comments come and I'll let you know more about it. Don't worry.
Well,
that's not that bad.
Well, fine. I do have some other concerns. I don't. It's very hard because it's like I have talked to everybody except you, because I don't know. Maybe I don't know how to get a hold of you outside of the meeting or something, about some of my other concerns directly on my street and stuff like that. I have some ideas for solutions. I have.
When you say your street, business or personal?
Ferry Street.
Okay. All right, no
I
problem.
get kind of, I do get like you say, I don't want to come up here and fight with you or anything.
No.
Trust me, I made myself nuts thinking about a lot of things I want to say, but I really don't want to say them here.
So why don't you make an appointment and we could sit down and talk? Would you like to do that?
I would like to do that.
All right. I will reach out to you if you could have Michelle set up something.
Yeah.
I will reach out to you tomorrow about that.
And then we could take it from there.
Absolutely. You can even bring your husband with you.
Maybe we can get to Joyce's before she closes.
I don't mind.
All right.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? First call. Second.
Motion to close public?
Motion by Council President DeSantis.
Second.
Second by Councilman DeZemian. All right. Council comments. Councilman Donato.
Yeah, I got a couple things, believe it or not. First is the water main project. We haven't had the consultant come in and give us an update on what's going on. I spoke with him and he wanted to.
He was supposed to be here today.
A stinker. He
Yeah,
didn't show up.
it's on agenda. He was supposed to be here today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have, they were kind enough to send me the plans and I went through everything. And I have some some questions that I'm sure he'll be able to answer.
I
So
will,
that'll be-
I will make sure he's at the next council meeting, but if you like, I can have him reach out to you.
That would be fine. That would be fine. Okay, the other thing is the lighting on Main Street. As you all know, I've been involved with this problem for a number of years. As I work for the county of Middlesex, and since the South River is my town, they say, "Hey, Joe, take care of this." I said, "Yeah, okay." My last email with them, and I'll read you verbatim because it conflicts with what they told the chief. I was told by their area manager, he said, "I've been informed JCP&L has developed a plan to complete repairs to the Veterans Bridge streetlights in the Borough of South River. On Monday, February 16th, during the overnight hours, JCP&L crews will be on site to repair the down pole and service wires and supply power to the string of lights currently out of service. This date is confirmed on our schedule, weather or emergencies permitting." He goes further on, he says, "We have determined that the root cause of the outage is repairable and will not require boring, new conduit, or replacement wiring as initially anticipated. We will hire 2 police officers and a crash truck for safety." Needless to say, as I expected, it hasn't been done. I'm going to reach out to them again, but I'm glad that other people are doing the same thing. I don't know what their problem is. If it was that simple, they shouldn't be telling other people something different. I don't like that. It's a disservice to the public and to this borough. And just be cautious when you listen to them, because you may not be getting the straight scoop. I've asked them time and time again to keep me informed so I can let the council and the residents of South River know whether I'm up here or sitting out there amongst the people. And this is the only time I ever got a contact, and I haven't heard from them since. I was wondering where that tower came from.
From the Office of Emergency Management from Middlesex County,
Yeah.
our OEM.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't from them, but I said, maybe they're trying to do something. Then when I went out there and it was gone, I figured, well, so much for that. So we're trying to do something about that as well, and it's frustrating. And yeah, it's too dark out there, and there should be no reason why the other lights are not working. I'm going to reach out to them again. I've been wanting to do that. My time is it's not as like I'd like it to be. But that's where that particular thing stands. Anything else that anybody wants to know about the county that I can help? I mean, I'll think of things after the meeting, but
I know, that's
during
when
the
it
meeting,
comes.
it's nice to get some.
So I want you to know that this morning when I spoke to Mark in regards of the lights on the bridge, he sent out an email to Jose, and it's pretty, I don't want to say nasty, but pretty straightforward to the email. And he wrote back, "I'm waiting on a planner to return to the office tomorrow. I have some time scheduled with her and by my foreman to discuss the job. I'll reach back out to you." This was today.
I didn't get that.
I'm just letting you know that.
You're more important than I am.
I'm not important. The residents are important. I just represent the president. What?
What time did you get it today?
You got it. You're part of it.
Okay.
2:22.
2:22.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's probably when my computer was deciding not to cooperate with me. It does that.
You look at your email late at night.
Hmm?
You look at your email late at night. You should be sleeping. Is there anything else, Mr. Donato?
Well, I couldn't because it wouldn't work at home, but no, that's it.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Councilman Giannakopoulos.
Yes, Mayor. Well, I'd like to say thank you to DPW for all they do, and they are out there, like Adriana said, patching those holes. So, you know, if there's something in particular, you guys can always call the borough and call DPW, and they'll let Adriana know about any holes that might be out there. So I'm sure he has a list he's working on, and eventually he'll get to all of them. And I just wanted to say Easter's coming. Just wanted to give a happy Easter to everyone, or Passover, or whatever you're celebrating. It's a nice time of the year, spring. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman DeZemia.
Thank you, Mayor. St. Peter and Paul Orthodox Church will be having an annual Easter food sale this Saturday, March 28th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Church Hall on Jeffrey Avenue. Come and enjoy delicious specialty foods and pastries. The next Imperial Music Center concert at the Imperial Music Center is this Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's free. Come and enjoy some nice music. A lot of people show up there. It's always a good event. Earlier I mentioned about the Frost and the Pumpkin. I didn't mention, I want to mention it now, that if anybody has any ideas or wants to be helping in any way, reach out to me personally, and we could always use help moving forward on that. And of course, thank you to the DPW for all the work that they've been doing and have work to do. Be patient with them on the potholes. They know the ones that are bad. They're being told, and they're going out there and doing the best they can, time-wise, as the rain stops and they're able to use the proper equipment to fill them in. And happy Easter, everybody. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman De Silva.
I want to start off by thanking DPW also for their hard work, and for everybody, please be patient with them. I mean, if you think you could do a better job, I'm sure they're willing to have volunteers work with them. But the nasty comments on social media that I've been seeing repeatedly, which I try to avoid, it takes a toll, especially when we have residents out there that understand the hard work, and then we have residents that are at home and maybe have too much time on their hands. I could use some help at my business too, if you'd like to volunteer there to keep you busy. But what upsets me is Saturday at 3:46, I sent Mayor a message. I was a passenger in my car coming down Cam heading towards Sheldon. And parents, I know you cannot babysit and watch your kids 24/7, but please speak to them about these electric bikes and scooters and mopeds. The wheelies that were being done in front of my car, where I had to have my significant other have the hazards on, and to see other cars coming at us also with hazards, and having to pull over and honk and be disrespected by these teenagers is unacceptable. Whether they're from this town or not, I advise you to please speak to your children. Not saying it's your child or who it is, because I don't know people, but what they were doing and how fast they were going down this street around bends, not knowing what car was coming ahead of them. I would hate to read about a fatality on a child in this town, because they think they're invisible. And we've all been there, we've all been young, and they deserve to have fun, but there's a safe way to have fun and to be respectful of the residents and a driver. Because should I, God forbid, have hit one or another resident, we would have been at fault, because kids are just being kids. But if they're behind these mopeds or electric things that are going 40 miles an hour, they should also be responsible enough to know what the rules are. And most of them, almost 5 out of the 7, had no helmets or protective gear. And that's all I have to say. And I'm sorry to be upset, But I have a mother, mine are older. I instilled in them to be safety and to respect people. And these kids think they're invisible. And it's got to stop. And I'm sure law enforcement will be working on that. And I think they have every right to. And if parents can't babysit and can't be out there, then they should be responsible financially. That's all I have. And I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
And happy Easter and a blessed Easter to everybody. But I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
But this is passionate, especially when I saw it firsthand.
Don't be
I was
sorry.
driving. I'm next, right?
No, you're not next.
You're not next.
Councilman Krasinski.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank our police department, our fire department, our EMS, Robert Wood, especially our DPW for the work that they do. And, like I said, they're the unsung heroes in this town, really. Parents, your children go out there and they play in the parks. The days are getting warmer. They're taking soda bottles. And believe me, a lot of times, too, I go past the parks and there's bottles all over the place. There's recycling containers there. Emphasize to them, please put it in the container. Don't make their jobs any harder than it is for these guys. They really bust. They busters do the work that they do. With that, all I have to say too is one more fish fry. That's it.
Now it's
And
your
happy spring to everyone.
turn. Now it's your turn. Council President.
I was driving in the other direction at the exact same time on my way to the egg hunt. I was coming up Cam, so going towards Corpus Christi, because I was going to the egg hunt, and I saw the same group of kids. And I know some of them, and I saw some of them without helmets. This kind of dovetails into what I was already going to talk about. A lot of people post, they need to, they should. And when they say they could be talking about mayor and council, DPW, the police department. They is thrown out there as if it's like everybody else's responsibility. And it absolutely is our responsibility as a governing body or DPW or police or any body to service the town as we're supposed to, right? But it's not they, it's we. South River is we. It's always been that way. When I was growing up, yes, there are people who are in charge of things, but it's not they need to, it's we need to. We includes they, meaning the governing body, and then yourself. If you just say we need to, and think about what your piece of that responsibility is. Maybe it is not putting your snow into the street. Maybe it is asking your child to wear a helmet. Maybe it is moving your car. Maybe it is being more respectful to law enforcement or to the DPW, whatever it is, it's we. It's not they. I read these posts. They need to. They should. They should put they should have kept it a bank. Who's they? That's not how this works, okay? People that make decisions are in different positions that make decisions, but it's we. It's we as a whole. So it's a group effort. It's a village. I lived here my whole life. I stayed here. I'm raising my kids here. We all need to do better, but that is we. It's not they. I don't mind being part of the they, but it's still the we. And I know I'm talking a little bit in circles, but if you listen to this later in slow motion, I promise it'll make sense. It is we, all right? Dante came up and talked about how he's from this town and he's got this business and he's got accounts that are probably way bigger than we'll ever be, but this is close to his heart. That's why we all do this. I was just sitting behind the mayor when he was going through his emails to try to find the one about the bridge. And I'm like, I can't believe he got that many emails today. Like I get emails for the borough, but it's a few. They're mostly pointed emails. It's not. It's an effort. So please, everybody, understand that and take that into consideration with how you wake up today, tomorrow, and go to work, and how you drive, how you talk to people, how you treat people. If we all do that better, I promise you, every single aspect of this town will elevate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, we already spoke about the billing system. I know it's been a little bit of a rocky start in the beginning. It is getting better. I know a lot of people have been complimenting on the new system, so please bear with it. If you have any questions, please call downtown. You can reach out to Mark. He will be more than happy to connect you to the right tech to help you out with it. Right employee, sorry. Potholes. I know we've been talking about this for quite some time. As you all know, we have had a rough winter. We have multiple potholes throughout the whole entire town. The Department of Public Works is doing a remarkable job in trying to get them all done. It's not going to happen overnight. If you feel that they might have missed it, feel free to give them a call. Just say, hey, listen, it's at this one road. Or you could reach out to any of us, send me an email, send us a text, send us a call, and I will have it put on the list. So please bear with us. Now, as you all know, every single year we average anywhere from 6 to about 10 roads that we replace. I know I've seen this on social media. I enjoy seeing, I should say, drama, but we can't replace every single road in this town. There's a budget. DOT usually gives us X amount of dollars every single year, and between the engineer as well as the borough, we are doing our best to hit roads that need to be addressed as soon as possible. So please bear with us. But when it comes down to potholes, if you feel that, you know what, it could be looked at a better way, reach out to us. We will take care of that road. I want to also congratulate Troop 83. They did first place in the Klondike 2026. Out of 17 troops, they were leading by 43 points, and they won. So congratulations to Troop 83. Now projects. Where's Monty? So the projects that are taking off finally, and the reason I use the word finally is there's usually a process. The process is they come before the board, they get approved. Once they get approved, they still have to go through revisions between the engineer or the planner. Then they still have to go through financials with their banks, and then they have to go through any other permits, whatever has to be. And usually it takes anywhere from about a year to about a year and a half. Some take almost 2 years, depending on how big these projects are. The projects that are now underway is the PNC Bank, which you're going to see footings and foundation probably in the next 2-3 weeks. They're going to finally be breaking ground. Bank of America, they have already started. They already started working on their foundation as well as their pilings. As you see, people are already questioning what's the big hole on the side of the bank. This is part of their plan. This is part of their project. The Laughlin Chevrolet project, well, it's underway. They're already putting up the walls, hopefully within the next, hopefully in the next 2-3 weeks, and then you're going to see the structure of the building start getting done. We got lucky this year. The piece of property that's been sitting on Prospect Street, 85 to be exact, finally got sold. So somebody's going to be using that same exact plan that got approved 5 years or so ago, and they're going to be finally breaking ground this year. Now, for projects that are coming up in the future. Now, the reason I can't go and say, hey, this is what is actually going to happen is because it's not set in stone. Yes, is there a parking deck coming? There's actually 2. And they're both privately owned. When is it going to happen? Once they have actually set, like their plans are set in stone. Now they could present it to the mayor and council if that's going to be the direction they're going to go, or they're going to go to the land use board and present it there. Once it's set in stone, I could show you something, but it may change tomorrow. Unfortunately, that's just the way planners or developers are. Nothing is done until they sign off, and this is what you have coming. Another thing that we're working on is Causeway, the waterfront. Light industrial. It's just a headache to see nothing but, I guess you could say, the trucks going up and down the street when you have an ice cream parlor and you could have what you should have, a nice mixed use. Could it happen? It's strongly possible. I got quite a few developers that are highly interested in the waterfront. So could that be a possibility in the next year or two? Very much so. Could it be something that they could break ground in the next year or two? Probably in 3 or 4 years, because of all the paperwork they have to go through, all the permits they have to go through, the approvals, engineering, planning, council. So there's quite a few things coming into our town. Now, the other thing I'm also working on, which has been a major headache, but I'm sticking in there, is dredging out the river. And believe me when I tell you, I've been working night and day. I can't tell you how many people I'm speaking to from FEMA or the DEP. Matter of fact, they're over next door in Saraville right now dredging the river. And I've been talking to their engineering firm. So there's quite a few things that we're working on. In time, it will become a reality. I promise you, this whole town will know what we're doing before we even move forward on it. We're just not going to sit here and approve it. We're going to show it. We're going to talk about it. I want the residents to know we're here to serve you. You're not serving us. So please, bear with us. If you have any questions, please come see me. Bonnie, I'm going to be reaching out to you tomorrow. Okay? Well, then, okay, then everybody, hey, council, happy birthday, Bonnie.
You want us to sing?
No, I'm not saying. But, no, seriously, happy birthday. And other than that, happy Easter and happy holiday. Thank you. Do I have an adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Council President DeSantis, seconded by Councilor DeZemian. Okay, we're done.